Oh my Lord, I sing your name out loud. Listen to my call. Oh my Lord, listen to my call. Oh my Lord, I sing your name out loud. Listen to my call.
Om Sai Ram, and a very good morning to you all. What a lovely way to start our morning with Vedam and Suprabhatam and bhajans. I'm sure we are all energized. There will be more energizing activities throughout the day, so keep yourself hydrated, make sure you eat and take all your medications on time and look after yourselves. If you need any help at any time for anything, just come and see one of us. I think we've got a 10-minute buffer now while the fitness team are getting ready for themselves to make us all fit, I understand. So I think that will be outside, but I will let them lead you when it is time. So just stretch your legs and grab a drink, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Sairam.
Under the eyeball. Okay, really feel with your breath, feel the movement. Okay. Start. Inhale, center, exhale, looking top, eye to the top, behind the back of your eyeball, and back to the center, inhaling as you exhale, looking down, inhale,
That's for the cameraman. That's for you. Alright, is everyone ready? So what's going to happen now is we're going to start off just jogging really lightly on our feet. Very slowly. We can go slower. Actually, maybe can everyone take a step back?
2 steps.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bowen, if you want to play some music, feel free. I don't have any. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to give you a set of instructions, and that might be, okay, touch your elbows, touch your knees, touch your head. When I say cone, I want you to run in and grab the cone. In your pairs, whoever gets it first wins. So, some of the instructions... Not yet. Some of the instructions we'll give are move left, in which case you've got to shuffle across to the next cone. Right, move to the right. Got it? Okay, cool. Jogging, everyone. Jogging on the spot. Lightly. We're not playing. We're just showing you what to do. All right, touch your knees. Jogging again. Oh, you don't have to. Okay, when I say touch your knees, just touch it and back. Touch your head, shoulders, elbow. Some of you don't know where your elbows are. Ankles.
Oh, we got some more brave
Touch your head. Cone. No, take it. Nice.
Enjoying your breakfast? Where's that? You guys enjoying your breakfast? Yeah. What's that?
Om Sara. We will begin the program with a Karakia led by Hridaya and Pranava.
Papatoetoe, put your hands together. Katio, karu, close your eyes. Tu tawa mai e ronga, tu tawa mai e waho, tu tawa mai e roto, tu tawa mai e waho. Kia tau ai te mauri ora, ki te katoa, haumie hui tai ki e.
My humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Om Jai Sairam to you all. Sairam. So lovely to see you all. And welcome to what we hope will be a memorable and fulfilling retreat. I'm so happy to see you all here, from our dearest children, dear brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties, and our cherished elders. You are all the pillars of his legacy. This room is filled with divine souls handpicked by Swami. For that, I would like to express my gratitude to be in your presence, for he resides and shines in each and every one of us. Without taking much of your time, I would like to introduce our MCs for this weekend. Myself, Aman, for those of you who do not know me. I'm joined by the amazing trio of Auntie Kokila, Sister Sadhana, who has just arrived just in time for the start of the program, which was great to have her, and Sister Yash. Just a reminder to everyone for the remaining days of this retreat, the sanctity of this occasion. I think when I walked into the main hall this morning, you cannot take your eyes off Swami and his presence in this room, at this retreat. So just a humble request and a gentle reminder that during bhajans and any devotional activities where he is most definitely present, to please adhere to dress code guidelines. I know it's a retreat and maybe not everyone is attending every session, but please be mindful of what is going on in the hall, particularly if you are walking around outside. So I'm sure we can all do that for the rest of the weekend. And it's easy to do it because for that beautiful face, we should all preserve the sanctity of the occasion. And just another reminder, at the registration, whenever you get a chance today, to drop off your beautiful rice sadhana that you have collected, in anticipation of the beautiful special meal the youth will cook tomorrow. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Hridaya and Pranava for that beautiful welcome in the traditional Māori Karakia. With that, I'll pass the mic to Sister Yash to briefly give acknowledgement in the traditional Māori way, which is typically done in the form of a mihi or a pepeha.
Being here in Aotearoa The traditional and customary way to open a gathering like this would be with a mihi, essentially an acknowledgement of all those who allow us to be here and have supported our efforts. We'd like to acknowledge Mother Earth and Father Sky,
Papatoetoe Nuku and Ranginui,
who sustain and shelter us. We'd like to acknowledge those who have gone before us, our ancestors and our different lineages.
We'd like to acknowledge the iwi that have looked after the land we are on this weekend, Ngāti Tū Wharetoa.
We acknowledge the Safari, Building and Tauhara Center for hosting us. And finally, we acknowledge each and every one of you, our elders and our youngest, for being here. I'd like to pass the mic to Sister Sadhna.
Sai Ram, thank you, Yash and Aman, for introducing us. I will be just doing all the housekeeping for the whole retreat this weekend. So, and then I'll pass it on to Auntie Koki. Okay, thank you. Okay, so as you might see in this hall, if you look on the right and left, you can see the exit signs. So in the event of a fire or in an emergency, you want to go nice and peacefully, in a nice fashion, without bumping into each other, allowing the people that are elderly to go first and help them out first with good manner. So that's the way to go out, okay? And if you need to go to the toilet, if you go out the door, the first one on the left, I think, is the women's toilet, and then near the kitchen, it's the men's toilet. If I am wrong, please correct me, okay? But, so those are the toilets there. And no candles are to be lit in any of the accommodation here. We don't want to be causing problems, causing a fire. Phones to be switched off, kept in silent, because we want to absorb everything in this retreat, and we don't want our digital devices to disturb us. Unless you want to capture some memories, maybe. But please do it discreetly. And the other thing is, if you have any issues, any health issues, we do have first aid kits. We have many health professionals here, from consultants to junior doctors to other allied health. So please come and ask us, and we can direct you to anyone. And if you want to use the meditation hall at any time during the break to just come and meditate, you are welcome to do that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it for housekeeping. So if any questions, just ask one of the MCs and we can guide you, okay? And so before we move on, I just want to take 1 or 2 minutes to do a quick icebreaker. And we are a good, nice, small group, and I can see there's the space to move around. So I'm going to time for a minute, and people that can stand and move around easily, I would say stand and go sit next to a person who you don't know, who's from a different center, or who lives somewhere else, or even different age. So I'm going to start the timer, and if everybody can stand up first, so that we don't spend time standing up. All right, ready, set, go. So I hope you're sitting next to someone you don't know by now, because I'm going to go to someone and ask you a fun fact. about them. Or something you learned about them within that 1 minute, okay?
Thank you. Sairam. And we hope that you're sitting right next to somebody who you're meeting either for the first time or you're meeting after a long time. But the test doesn't end there, because Sadhana's got another test. Hey Sadhana.
Yes. All right. Shall I come in the middle here, and then we'll go to the other corner. So, hello. What's your name? I'm Sadhana. I've not met you as well. What's your name?
I'm Samara.
Samara. What have you learned about?
Well, she woke up at 4 a.m. today to go in. Oh, wait, no, she left at 4 a.m., so she woke up earlier than that.
Wow. Alright, I'm going to come to this side, to the brother side. I'm going to try and see if I can, how far this goes, I don't know. So the behind people, you're lucky. Alright, maybe. What are the uncles here? Hello, Uncle Anil.
How are you? Yes, I'm sitting beside Girish, but I've connected with my friend. What's your name? Pawan. He's a nurse, right? He's studying nursing, yeah. And I just learned his brother Praveen Dev's son.
Awesome, good job, good connection. All right, I think that's good for now, because there will be many more sessions like this to get to know each other. But now I'll pass it to our Auntie Kokila so she can give an introduction to the next event.
Sairam, also just a reminder for the young adults who are currently occupying a seat on top. If we do have some, our elder aunties and uncles come walking in, can you please make way for them and provide them the seats? Because we have very limited chairs, I understand. So if you can come down and give aunties and uncles that seat, that will be really appreciated. But if you don't need to be on there, then it's a different matter. It's just that we try to fit in as much chairs as possible. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Right, I think that was a very, very good energizing start, and I'm glad to know that you're all fully energized with a nice breakfast and coffee. Now we await the most amazing session of our official commencement of the retreat. And for that, I would like to invite Brother Guna, who is no stranger to us. I'm sure we've heard from him before, and it's always good to hear from Brother Guna because he's our national president and he leads us in this country. So, of course, with Swami's divine grace and blessings, I would like to invite Brother Guna and share Abhita's the welcome address. Sairam.
Loving Sairam, dear and sisters. It's very interesting when dear little Pranava said, put your hands together. He had his hands in his pocket. So I couldn't help smiling. Dear and sisters, on behalf of all of us, I'd like to express our gratitude to Swami for blessing this wonderful retreat. And I'm so happy to see so many of us, only by His grace, we have all gathered as one Sai family. Now, since we're having a movie night tomorrow, I'd like to start my opening remarks about the movie. I can't see the screen. Is it up there, no?
Yeah.
I do not know how many of you are familiar with this movie called The Born Identity. Some of the senior people have seen this movie. It's an amazing movie. It's written by Robert Ludlum way back in 1982. I read the book and I watched the movie in 2002. It's about this man called Jason Bourne who's found floating in the sea, and he's picked up by a fishing trawler, and when he regains his consciousness, he's completely blank. He has no memory of who he is, what is the mission that he has come, nothing. And then, while in the fishing trawler was going back to the coast, he slowly regains flashes of memory. And then he realizes he has this very advanced combat skills. And not only that, he's also fluent in a number of languages prevailing in Europe. By and by, he pieces his life together and goes in a quest to find out who he really is, what is his purpose, what is his mission. For the concluding part of this movie, you need to come tomorrow night for the movie night. Let's park this story here, dear sisters. The scriptures, the Upanishads, in fact this particular Upanishads called Garbha Upanishads talk about the science of embryology. It states that life begins in darkness. In Sanskrit, darkness is tamaha. Swami, in a discourse in 1997 during Mahashivratri, he addressed this particular topic. And Swami says, life begins in tamaha, darkness. It comes from two syllables called ta, ma. Ta stands for nectar, which is immortality, and space. Ma stands for poison and time. So this human birth is subject to space and time, which we know. We have a limited time and we occupy a limited space. And then this human life, existence, has one aspect which is known as immortality and another aspect called mortality. This we are aware because the five koshas is subject to mortality. The Atma, Jivatma, is immortal. And then Swami says, he addresses this, he says, life starts as a water bubble. The first thing that comes up is a water bubble. On the seventh day, it becomes a small blob of oil. Scientifically, medically, that is when these fatty acids, proteins are formed. On the 15th day, it takes a form of a pinda, which is nothing but a ball of flesh. On the 30th day, it's what we call a fetus. Now comes the very interesting part. Swami says, and the Garbha Upanishads echoes the same words. It says precisely on the 210th day, the soul enters the fetus. That's when human life actually begins. Next comes even more interesting. By the 8th month, the Jivatma is able to realize its entire lives for the past. The entire memory comes before the Jivatma and is able to see from where he began this entire journey of the trials and tribulations of life, the pursuits in spirituality, the failures, the mistakes, everything comes like a screen. And then the Jivatma realizes that he knows who the source is. He is come from the source of Pranava. Not our Pranava, primordial sound. And he says, this I am no different from that source. And then that Jivatma makes a resolve. In this lifetime, I will not miss the opportunity. I will not live my life in ignorance, in darkness. I will hold on to the feet of my Lord. I will hold on and contemplate on the Brahman and release myself from the cycle of birth and death. And this comes the crunch. At the precise moment of birth, this entire memory of the past is wiped out. It's a clean slate. Imagine the plight of the child that is born from complete knowledge to complete darkness, ignorance. And that is why the child screams and cries, who am I? Just pause for a moment, brother. Can you imagine a complete knowledge become completely blank? You're helpless, you're hopeless, you do not know anything. Each of us in our lives, we have that what we call the Jason Bourne syndrome. And slowly, like that man, the spy, we piece our life together. And how he realizes he has certain skills and talents, we realize slowly as we grow, certain abilities that we have, certain talents that we acquire, certain knowledge and certain yearning that we develop. And then, as you tread along the path, you develop what we call a divine discontent. This avatar, our Sai Ma, our Sai Father, he came for that one purpose alone, to help us realize our lost identity and our inherent divinity. And for that, he walked amongst us, he lived amongst us, he shared amongst us, he did everything he could to show us how to live a life that one day, we will realize we are but Tat Twam Asi. So, this entire retreat we are having this time, brother, the theme that we've chosen is living with Sai. It calls for us to live in his omnipresence, to live his presence in our lives. It's not easy. I feel to be constant contemplation of the Lord. But he has given us enough messages and discourses how to connect to that awareness. I remember one Swami once said this, my only mission in my life is to make you realize that you and I are one. So dear brothers and sisters, I would like all of us here who have gathered, and we have about 120 people, and out of that I'd like to comment, 40 of them are young adults. That's an incredible number. And I think they did it. 33% of them are young adults. What an achievement. I commend them. For them to turn up on a long weekend to be with adults and children. Let us, for the next 3 days, connect with Swami. Try to imbibe him in our lives so that we slowly build that thing deeper and deeper with him. So now, if it is in the Olympic Games, the dignitary will stand up and say, let the games begin. This is a medical emergency from Dr. Amrat. Sorry. Sarah, I need to call him back. I have to acknowledge him. All right, stand up. Dear listeners, but I'd like to welcome all of you with my favorite character. And I think I would like you all to join in this beautiful clip. Can I have the lights off here, please, Krishna? Okay.
Move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it. She like to move it, move it. He like to move it.
And now, why do you think we must move it, move it? Comes the next answer. So dear sisters, I wanted to give this light start now. This is not all about spiritual being so serious. These 3 days, the task force have put in some incredible efforts in the last 3 months to make it as interactive as possible. To let us come here, have some spiritually fun-filled weekend. And for that, we have put in a number of activities. I think they've gone to great lengths. And what I really like about this retreat is an all-inclusive retreat, where almost everyone present here has a role to play, which is really commendable. To make it, this is a retreat by us, for us, with Swami. So let's take this opportunity, let's gel. I like what Sadhana did just now, to mingle around, to know new people. I made some efforts yesterday to meet some new faces. Let's all get together because we are but one Sai family. And the only password that we require is Sai. And with that, I thank each one of you for making the time and effort to come and be part of us for this weekend. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Raman, thank you so much, Uncle Guna. Shall we give him another round of applause? Good introduction for the retreat. So yes, I know what movie I'm watching, so I hope you know as well. But lovely words from Uncle Guna, living with Sai, and I hope we remember that this is what we're here for, and we're all a family, and learning from each other and growing together is what we want to do. So thank you so much. And now the next session is going to be the icebreaker, which Auntie Cookie will tell you a little bit more about.
It's icebreaker that I don't know. But I think the team who is responsible for icebreaker, they are very well prepared. And once again, I think we've already done the activity where they requested us to make sure that people are in different seats, which I think, Praveen Bhai, are you happy with that? So we won't take much time, and we will pass it on to the people who are responsible for icebreaker activity. And let's just, as Brother Guna said, have fun, enjoy every activity, and let us involve ourselves and just be part of it. It's lovely to see Pranam and Hridaya, and starting from there to, every age group taking part as well. It's really beautiful. So let's just keep that energy going throughout the weekend. Over to you, Bhaiya.
Om Sai Ram. What a start, eh? And thank you for the welcome. Let's all live in Sai. Okay, I'll have the North Shore and the Henderson team up, the ladies on that side. And the reason we wanted you to be next to someone, because this is the icebreaker session as well. And we have started off early in the morning with Suprabhat and Bhajan singing, and then we went out and had the yoga session as well. So this will continue on. So I'd like everyone to stand up if you are able to only. Don't worry. Okay, so Amish, spread out around and move. You've got lots of space on the side. Don't bump into anybody. Right. Don't knock anyone else. I know we have got lots of doctors around, but we don't want to use them until and only when we need to. Okay. Right. Now you can relax and keep standing. Yeah, this will be an exercise bit. It will only be about 4 minutes. If you are able to, please join in. You were saying
Sai Ram.
And I think we've been given a very special section of our dear Sai's life. It's called the Sai Chronicles, or the team have called it the Sai Chronicles. And it is to depict Swami's childhood stories. I know we've heard a lot of miracles of Swami, and there's quite a few recorded in Satyam Shivam Sundaram, and all the books that people have written. And Swami himself has shared quite a few of those as well. So what we thought was the best way to depict Swami's childhood stories is pick a couple of them, which may not be very familiar with a lot of you, and put together a small skit. And then we've kind of separated it into 3 different skits. It's a smaller skits. And after each skit, I would like the esteemed audience here to tell me a point or 2 that resonated with them, and any message that they picked up from that particular skit. It could be a value, it could be a sub-value, it could be something that just resonates with you. So thank you for making this space here. It's just that because we sort of have got 3 different skits, and we wanted as much as possible to the room here. So thank you for doing that. And very wonderful session by the North Shore team. Definitely we need to be sharing those experiences and how we got to our dear side. Remember, the more we talk, the more we feel it as well. So let's keep that going, and we don't have to have a session for it. We can just chat over the lunchtime or tea time, and let's just keep talking about our experiences with the side. Right, Dio, our team is here. Can I please request all the people who are part of skit 1, they are already here, nice. Okay, are we ready? Right. So this story is called The Tiger Hunter Story. I'm not sure if any of you have heard about it or read this. It's recorded in all of Swami's childhood books. Some of them is Tapovana and Satyam Shivam Sundaram, and also Sai Satyanarayana Katha. If you kind of read through it, I think there's a small mention of this as well. But mainly this particular act is being taken from the book called Tapovana. So the scene goes, one afternoon, Satyam and his friends were sitting in the front portico of K. Subbamma's house. You know who Subbamma is? Swami used to spend a lot of time in her house, and she loved our dear Satya and treated him all the time. And on the other side, we had these animals running around and playing. And suddenly, at Subbamma's house, we have a driver walking into Patti in his uniform and walking towards our dear Satya to Subbamma's house. And let's watch.
Master Jipo, Chitravathi Nadi, Avatali or Dunda Milichipoindi. My master's jeep has been stranded on the other bank of Chitravathi River, Aotearoa. My master is very angry. Chala kopam. He has heard there's a boy of miracles, Adabut, Ati Adbut. I think his name is Satya.
I'm Satya.
Swami, my master has asked me to bring some vibhuti to help solve his problem.
Okay, let me come and have a look.
Thank you, Swami.
What harm has this poor animal done to you? Why have you killed it for no reason? Her poor cubs are missing their mother and are feeling miserable. It was I who made your vehicle break down to make you realize this. Go back to those motherless cubs and rescue them and entrust them to the care of a proper zoo. Never should you kill a living thing for your own enjoyment and pleasure. One might shoot, but only with a camera and never with a gun. That will bring you name and fame.
Vroom, 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 vroom.
I am sincerely sorry for my act. I will entrust these cubs to the care of the zoo.
And the driver, having realized his mistake, entrusts the little cubs to the zoo. The Englishman felt very remorseful. Sometime later, he bought the skin of the dead tigress and offered it to serve as footrest for Satyam. Even today, it is there in Prashantinilayam, near Swami's throne, serving him as his footrest in Bhajan Hall. That is the end of Scene 1, Act 1. Right, now, from a show of hands, what was the biggest message that anyone picked up from this little act or miracle of Swami? It can be anyone, any message. Non-violence. Very good. And where did you see non-violence? Killing the animal. Very good. Anything else?
Seeing the oneness.
Saying the oneness. Very good. And how did you notice that seeing oneness?
When Satya asked Baba, when he spoke about, you're not supposed to, you can only shoot. All you want to shoot is only the camera.
Very good. Very good. And from another point of view, when you saw the little cubs and any messages that you picked up on that side?
Compassion.
Compassion, very good. Caring and compassion, because you see, when this act was happening, Swami was only a little child. And at that age, he could feel for the young cubs. And I think I get goosebumps as I think of it. And we as adults, it's really, these are the messages that we need to be picking up and really putting it into practice in our daily life. Any other observation before we move on to the next one? Yes?
I think no shooting, and rather than that, everyone has phone. Take phones, cameras.
Yes. Very good, very good. Use your devices wisely, And I think, if I remember, Swami has also talked about the same with the knife. We could use the knife for cutting vegetables, chanting Gayatri and cutting vegetables. So, take these little messages, apply it in our daily life, and we can lead a wonderful life. Before I move on to the next act, any final thoughts from anyone in the room?
Shuddha became a good person, changed himself.
Transformation.
Transformation.
Very good, very well noticed. Yes.
He made without asking, he made the cushion.
Very good. Finally, how many of you have noticed the tigress skin under Swami's feet in Bhajan Hall? Yes, it still serves him there. So, I think if there are no more final thoughts, is our team 2 ready? Okay. An act from Tapovanam. And here we've got Swami coming as a surprise dancer for you all, but I will unravel the secrets as you see it unfold in front of you. We will now have a look at a time were those closest to Swami. So there was a Swami school, where Swami studied in Uruvakonda. And they were having a benefit program for the school. And the school headmistress had organized a very celebrated dancer to perform for the benefit program. And the invites were made, as we do, and it was widely distributed in the little town. And then the dancer's name is Rishendramani. We call her as Aramani. She's a very, very celebrated dancer. She performs a lot of acts with using her feet and hands. And she promises that on that particular day, she will be putting a best performance for the benefit program. Aramani, it's yours. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Due to some unavoidable circumstances, I'm not going to be able to perform tonight at the school function.
Thank you for letting me know. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
And now the headmistress is really worried because she just has less than 24 hours to find another dancer who can perform at the benefit program. That's when our dear Satyam walks to the headmistress.
Madam, please do not worry. Do not be stressed. I myself will be Aramani. There's no need to change anything on the invitations.
Are you sure you'll be able to pull this off?
Yes, of course. Aramani herself picks up a handkerchief with her lips. I shall do it with my feet.
You say so. Thank you for your support in this time.
And now, the day of the program is here. Our dear R. Satyam was made to wear a sari. The organizers were even putting a pigtail worn by women. Strings of bells were adorned his little anklets. And he walks on the stage as our money. As the music starts to play, Satyam begins to dance. Wow, wow. And that way, dear Satyam really surprised the audience. The chief guest, Mr. Horsley, wants to congratulate him.
I'm like your brother. I want to put this medal on your neck.
I am like your sister. Please, just place it in your
Notice how Satyam doesn't allow the chief judge to touch him. You notice why, and we'll ask you the answer later. And now, our headmistress is in the office, and the president of the district board, Srimati Rama Subbamma, is coming to the school to congratulate them on the event. Knock, knock.
Come in. Is it due to our money that we have been able to raise so much fund towards the building?
Yes, it is indeed.
Oh, we are so honored. I bought a sari for him.
Her?
Her.
Satyam, Aramani, come here.
Yeah. Stop! What are you doing there?
No, let him in. Yesterday's Aramani is none other than Satyam.
Oh, really?
My dear child, you're so tender in age, but you have brought so much honor to us. I'm so thankful to you.
Wow, wow. Now that's the end of Act 2. Thank you. Okay, who wants to go first? Just with your observation and any reference of points that you want to raise in this particular skit. What was the message? What did you, what was the learning? And yeah, any thoughts? Yes.
Swami always comes to the rescue.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when the headmistress was remember this was the morning, evening was a program. And she was worried, how will she get another one? Even though those days anybody could be brought in, but the invitation specifically said Harmony. And Swami comes to our rescue. This just goes back to what Brother Praveen shared as well. He's always here. We just need to tap into him, to feel his presence. Beautiful, beautiful. Anything else?
Can I just add to that?
Sure.
Could it be Swami always comes to rescue when the prayer is sincere and the intentions are noble?
Absolutely, absolutely. So what would be the noble cause in this particular acting?
Charity.
Great, great. Because it was for the benefit. Good. So that's a very, very well noted point as well. Anything else? So I think it's very important, Sarah.
Include with the audience, why did Swami not let the chief guest hug you?
Yes, yes, good point.
Modesty.
Modesty, very good. And why do you think modesty was represented there?
I think as a woman there, and so he had to be what a woman would do.
Absolutely right, absolutely.
So discipline and segregation.
Very, very well noticed, Sarah. Discipline and segregation. And once again, going back to our MCs who made an announcement, because I think Swami stresses on the discipline and segregation no matter where we are, what we are doing. Hence, without us knowing, see, this is how Swami works. It was not that the MCs knew about this particular act in the play. I mean, excluding me, it's not my call anyway. But that was one of the notification. Make sure that you are modest and you follow your guidelines, because Swami is very particular about that. Anything else?
Just emphasizing that Swami played true to his character. He played to his dharma. He was a woman when he was dancing for this man. He did not allow the chief guest to touch.
Yeah.
That's the dharma.
Yeah, yeah. I think time and again Swami, in his several messages, how many discourses, I think over 2,000 discourses, I'm not sure, he has mentioned to be true to our dharma. So it's all there, and it's not rocket science. It's not very difficult. We just need to be mindful of applying his teachings in every walk of our life. I think that's really the key message. Before we move on to the next one, any final thoughts from anyone? Yes.
This is not in regards to what was put up here, but there was an exact drama that actually took place here. So what I heard was, while we were doing yoga this morning, Sister Dharana comes to me and said, Prashant, I saw you guys doing yoga. Can you come and act as Swami? And I was like, what happened to your Swami? He said, our Swami is really sick. And Sister Dharana says, I'll ask Aditya, if he doesn't agree, can you please do it? I said, please ask him first. I do not know anything about your drama. And I was just watching Aditya. He pulled this off on the spot. I was just watching him and I was like, wow. On the spot he did it, and his mom didn't have faith in him. I was like, Aditya, side on to that.
Thank you. Well spotted. Yes. So there was a little, I mean, you know how Swami, actually, very true. Exact scene what we depicted here happened for our play without us noticing. So we got a couple of minutes of time. Our dear Kavish was supposed to be Satyam. Last minute, he's unwell. He's got, I think, fever and headache. So he called in sick this morning and we were frantically running who to go to. See, Swami he just shows his presence in everything that we do. And thank you, Prashant, for spotting that. So we were desperately running to Prashant. Can you be our Swami?
And also want to say, I noticed the value of humility there.
Yes.
When Satya was being praised, all he did was...
Yes. Swami is the epitome of all humility, right? Yeah, I think that's very key for all of us as well. Very good. So, big hands of, sorry.
Just going back to what Prashant has said. How many of you picked up the thought of the day?
Yeah.
And guess what was mine?
What was yours?
It goes for everyone as well.
Yeah.
I'll share this with you. It said, I will test you.
Wow.
There you go, Aditya, you passed the test. Well done.
Wow. Yes.
There is one detail that we can understand that Aditya didn't have to do. But when Swami did that dance, he did the dance with a flame on his head.
Yes.
Jyoti.
Yes. So I think the little detail was that the person Armani, as she describes that, I will pick it up in my free handkerchief. Swami tells the audience or the headmistress that I can do it with flame on my head and picking a needle from my eyelid. Can you imagine? With that, he picks up needle from the eyelid. That's when the audience go really berserk and he receives what he receives. But we are getting there slowly. Our little Aditya was able to pick up the handkerchief. He will get to the needle in the next retreat.
What I learned from this act while we were doing it, we also learned, right? So what I've learned is any character we play in our life, we should be truthful to it, whether at home as husband, wife, brother, sister, even in the organization. Like, for example, I've got the role of devotional convener at our center. I should be truthful and ever ready and ever available to do my role, as what Swami told. Swami was asked in the last minute, he jumped in and he was so truthful to his role that he didn't even hurt the other person, because he truly saw himself as a woman. So in our daily lives, we also need to be, that's me included, be truthful in whatever role we play, with conviction, with faith. And
very true. Absolutely. I mean, these are all daily messages from Swami, right? We just have to tap in and pick those messages and live the messages. I think that's exactly what Swami says. Leave my message. We just and I think these retreats are all there to just tap into that. It's not that we don't follow it, but we may not be performing it to our fullest. And as a group, when we do it, the value is that much higher. So really, hats off to the people who all think of this retreat and give us opportunity to put these little acts as a reminder to ourselves. A huge round of applause to all of you. Okay. I know these discussions are really helpful because we learn from it. We'll move on to the next act. So we had 3 acts, we finished 2. Now we are moving on to the 3rd act. Right, so this act, I am sure all of you know about it. How many of you have, just very quickly while we are setting up ourselves here, how many of you have heard the torture that Swami has been through when he was a young boy? Show of hands. Right, now you will understand what this is about then. So let's have a look to a time where even those closest to Swami just a disclaimer here. We are making our Swami sit on the chair. There could be questions in your mind that Swami in those days didn't sit on the chair. But today, we're making him sit on the chair so that you all can see him. And if you kind of make him sit down, you may not be able to see him clearly. So that's a disclaimer. So let's have a look at a time where even those closest to Swami questioned his being. When Swami's or Satyam's fame spread, people around him started talking, gossiping about him. Some people were flocking to meet this amazing boy. And Swami was well versed in Vedas. He could chant any mantra loudly. This surprised the entire village.
Om Bhura Bhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat.
Knock knock.
Swami, my brother is very unwell. Can you please come and cure him?
Om Bhura Bhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi.
Very happy. ఈ పిల్లోడు దగ్గర నిండా చాలా దేవుడు శక్తి ఉన్నారు. This boy has a lot of divine powers.
Really? He's possessed.
He's possessed. My ears, I can't believe my ears and eyes. This boy is a divine child.
No, can't you see? He's using black magic. He's demon.
No, he's not demon. He's divine.
On hearing these harsh words, Satyam's older brother brings in a worshipper. They discuss among themselves as family to see how to cure Satyam. And now they decide to bring a worshipper of goddess Shakti worshipper.
I think he's not well. He's not behaving his natural way. I think he's possessed by evil spirit. Don't you think so? I think let us approach the goddess of Shakti. Probably seek her help him to seek her. Yeah. Seek your help. My brother is possessed by an evil spirit.
Is he?
Please help us take the evil away.
That's why I'm here, bro. I'll follow you. Where is he? Shakti Namo! Shakti Namo! Shakti Namo! Shakti Namo! You curly-haired little boy. Boy with a demon problem.
How dare you talk to me like that? Every day you are worshipping me. You are asking for my blessings.
It's
so
you?
bow to my feet and ask for my forgiveness.
It's you, Satya. I'm so sorry. It's you.
Okay, now the Shakti Namo is gone. So they are now thinking of, because this problem of Satya doesn't go away, Satya knows everything. So now, amongst themselves, they're talking to take him to an exorcist in Kadri.
Did you hear what the neighbors are saying about Satyam?
Yeah.
They say he's possessed. My son, I'm really worried about my younger son.
Fear not, Mom. I am here. Mehuna. Head exorcist in Kabir is present here. He has the power to take the evil spirit away. Let's approach the exorcist. Probably he may be able to take the evil spirit away.
Exorcist. Our exorcist walks in now. With all his additional power.
Yes, everyone. I see you brought the boy to me. Don't worry, my demon detector 5000 can detect any evil spirit. Let me show you how it works.
Beep, 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 beep.
Haha! I can never be wrong. I detect a mischievous spirit in this one. Fear not, for I exercise with style. Anything to say?
You're just worried about Satyam. Please do whatever you can.
Okay, I'll try my best. This will do very nicely. Very nicely indeed. All right, my young friend, prepare for the supernatural petal dusting. Oh God, please heal this demon child. Oh God, please heal this disgusting boy. Demon, out! Doesn't seem to be doing much. Let me try something else. What else can I do?
Now he's looking for his razor because he wants to cut our tender Satya's skull. And our Satya is perturbed. He's just not even moving. He's just calm as ever.
Let's try this.
Ouch.
This might be more meaningful, I think. Yes. You ready for this?
Ouch. He's pouring some lemon into it, making cuts, in his blood pouring from Satya's head. And the family is just shocked. Poor Satyam is left alone with the exorcist, who with his fury he would catch Satyam's head with a razor. Blood streams flowing. Satyam is unfazed. And now he's going to pour buckets and buckets of water.
Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya.
Oh.
Om Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha.
Wow. The exorcist pours lemon, onion juice into Satyam's wounds, starts to rub ointment in his eyes, and pours 101 pots of water on the bloodied and burning head. This inhuman torture, which Satyam silently endured, is shocking the family. Exorcist starts to get wilder and wilder.
Uncle Girish, can you...
And the mother and sister are wanting to stop the exorcist.
What's wrong?
Oh God, please stop it! Stop this for at once!
You brought me here. Let me finish what I started.
No! No!
Boo-hoo-hoo! Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Can't you see his blood pouring from his head?
Alright, I'm going to get the ultimate weapon to finish this off once and for all.
No, that's enough.
And the mother and the sister and the brother take Satyam away. They apply a herb directed by Satyam, and Satyam becomes as normal as before, exorcist walking very disappointed. So we'll clear it up after when we've got 5 minutes break in between. Now, every time I hear this story or I read about it, jokes apart while we are acting it, it brings tears to my eyes. Because Swami has endured so much. Any thoughts from anyone?
I think the message there was to have equanimity in our lives and to accept whatever life delivers or gives us with the same demeanor and not to be acceptance.
Very good.
Not be-
Very true. Anything else?
Just adding on to what Auntie said there, the value of forbearance.
Very good. Yeah, forbearance.
A lot of fake exorcists and curers in this world. We have to be very careful about
Yes, brother.
Swami's always said, the soul is untouched and remains calm and with equanimity. It is the body, and once you realize the soul is not troubled in any way, you maintain that equanimity, no matter what happens to the body.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes.
Swami sent 2 of his graduates to New Zealand, and they had never left his side. They said, Swami, we are so worried. What if there are evil forces in New Zealand? And Swami stood up and he went like this and said, no evil can bang Swami.
Wow. And he proved it, didn't he? He proved it.
He created a ring of the 9 planets for the lady.
Absolutely. And I think we all can look at our own lives and see how we are living it. I am sure each one of us have our own story of how we survived something. It could be a small accident, big accident, health scare, whatever. We think we have sailed it through, but that's really because, as Brother Krishnan said, the soul is untouched. Whatever is happening to the body. And we've heard experiences already shared this morning, and I'm sure all of us will have something or the other to share as well. Yes, brother.
I saw something unusual. The first time I'm seeing a mother falling at the feet of the son. So the message is, the Atma is one.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I think, everyone recognized may not know initially, but I think everybody could see the soul within little Satyam.
The message of truth as well.
Very good.
And the truth, when there's truth, nothing can.
Yeah, truth is untouched, unshaken. Yes.
Never fear evil forces when you're with Swami.
Never fear evil forces when you're with Swami. Why fear when I'm here? It's the mantra that we all can chant. Any final thoughts? I'll request all our artists to come here. We'll sit together, and just as a closing act to this, and before we hand it over to the next phase of Swami's life, which is perhaps his youthful phase, we just thought we will sing Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam in unison. And that is the bhajan that Swami first sang, which we all know that it was his first bhajan. We'll offer it at his lotus feet. And thank you, Swami, for giving us this opportunity to depict your own life story in whatever little way we can. So thank you for this opportunity, and apologize any mishappening that would have occurred here without our knowledge. Sairam. So let's sing the Manasa Bhajare Guru Charan in unison. We'll all sing together. And who's a harmonium? Who can sing it? Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. Duskara Bhava Sagara Taranam. Duskara Bhava Sagara Taranam. Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Sainath Sadguru Jai Jai. Satya Sainath Sadguru Jai Jai. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shiva. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shiva.
what you doing?
Making porridge for breakfast.
Oh, right on. So what day is today?
Hello, it's Saturday.
Enjoying your breakfast? Good stuff?
Thank you.
You guys enjoying your breakfast? Yeah? Good stuff?
Alrighty, so you're on, everybody. Oh, we can do it a little bit louder. We've just had morning tea. We should be energized. Say around, everybody. One more time. Okay, we'll build the momentum hopefully with our session. So, yes, Mount Eden and Rotorua have planned a beautiful tiki tour of Swami's various parts of his life going forward now for all of us to kind of go through and enjoy for the next kind of hour and a half and so. So first of all, as Sadhana would have told you earlier, everyone should have checked their name badge and seen that there's a colour. Does everyone have a colour? No one is colourless?
If you're colourless, you are colour white.
Oh, okay. Nino Gigi says if you're colourless, you're a white team. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. Cool. So those are your teams there for the session. I'll get one person from each team to come up to get the glorious hats. Your name is in bold, so red team, Ahalia.
Start. Duet creation using the Play-Doh. Tell us the story. What does that mean? Yeah. I mean, that's so good. And she has put we have some so good. Examples here. I mean, some of you probably don't need examples. So we have the Play-Doh, make it creation, and tell us the story. Why the last? Why the we get lights on. By making him stand in the bench for not paying attention in class. When the teacher got stuck in his chair, the students laughed, and the next teacher realized
Well, we're getting ready for the next coup.
From the bench, and the teacher was freed from the chair. Satya revealed that he played the part and recognized his true dignity. How old is Satya? I think Yes. Awesome. Good job. Swami wrote the song and taught it to a group of boys who sang it while sharing.
So you need to balance this. On your head. You can all be around him so it doesn't. If it falls, you just catch it and put it back on again. Yeah. Okay. But you can't hold it. Okay. You can't hold it.
Good, well done.
You can't hold it.
How hold it for? Okay. 1 minute.
But you're gonna dance.
Dance.
You can be close so you can catch it if it falls, so it doesn't fall on the ground below.
Oh, very nice.
Wow.
Listen, 10 out of 10.
20 out of 10.
Okay. Well done, guys. Hey, so good, man. Very good. Both teams were just as good.
And just on behalf of Mount Eden Rotorua, we do apologise for a couple of the glitches with the order and things, but again, that reflects life. Life can give you a roadmap, but it might not always take you where you need to go or where you think you need to go, but you get to the end in the end, so that's the main thing. So, anyone have a particularly favourite station out of the 6 that we did? And of course, during the couple of stations we did today, of course, there were little moments of Swami's stories that we wanted to kind of bring forth to people. Just curious to know, were there any stories that people didn't know of before, or any stories that stuck out, or just any moments in general that really stuck out?
What I was amazed with is when Balmoral Center did their skit, we did the dancing one, and then one of the stations was based on the same story, which I found really amazing. You know, like talking each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and we never discussed anything. It was full of surprise. And,
It was amazing.
and we had to do the saris. I feel Swami is really emphasizing that message that he's giving us to, play a part. Be true to your character.
Absolutely.
The role that you're playing in life.
To play a part, wear saris more often.
I can say, like, our thing was with the Plato, they have to say how you connect with nature. And, each team is different, and most of them had sun, and they all say selfless, how sun is giving, and, keeping the nature. Dog, meaning how dog is faithful, and we should be faithful to our master like that, and have the faith in God. And also lotus feet, yeah. And one of the, they made a little song.
Oh, wow.
So
We sang a budget.
Oh wow! With the nature. Yeah. So I think I was amazed, like each one is individual team and how the same thing coming out, like
Oh, beautiful.
Just something funny. Manish, one of the brothers who wore a sari, made a comment. He said, "If I can wear it in 5 minutes, how come the ladies take so long?"
Do the ladies have any comments for that? Oh, did you hear that, Manish? You've been offered a challenge to wear sari for the rest of the retreat. And then from the brothers' side, anything that anyone wants to reflect on, comment on?
Yeah, the men learn to tie a sari, but not get entangled in the sari. But I just want the library, I think, was good because it was very interesting to note that almost all of them were very familiar with Swami's quotes, and some of the, that, what is the game there? You have to act it out? Sharing. And many of them were quite fast to pick it up. I think which is a good sign that all of us are very familiar with Swami's teachings.
Awesome. So thank you so much, team. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Alrighty, so up next is lunch, but before lunch we just wanted to discuss the plan after lunch. So the initial plan was for the lake, but of course the weather is neither here nor there, so we've got two options available for people. So one option is if you are still very much keen to go to the lake, you're most welcome to go enjoy that time at the water and in nature. The other option for people who might want to stay indoors if it's a bit too cold is that we'll kind of regroup after lunch here in the main hall and kind of maybe do some informal sharings, kind of continuing on from this morning with just the beautiful momentum of stories and experiences from around the room. So you've got two options. Regardless, after lunch we'll all meet here in the main hall anyway.
Ladies in the shop.
Wait, I'll tell you now. When it's cool, we're going to put it in the fridge. Okay.
Who is the supervisor?
Who is the supervisor?
No, he's the supervisor.
Now that we have a zonal chair here, we would like to invite Uncle Krishna, Brother Krishna, to come and share the zonal update. Thank you.
Sairam everyone. And sorry about the delay. I was immersed in a meeting with the medical team, so apologies again to keep you waiting. As you know, in the SSSIO, we have a number of projects happening in more than 114 countries around the world. Service activities, educational activities, all sorts of things happening. And you can read all of this in the bulletins that are issued from time to time by the International Media Committee. And also, if you read the Eternal Companion, Satya Sai, the Eternal Companion, you will have a good feel for the number of projects that are happening over there. But today, what I want to do is to give you an overview of what's happening in our zone. Does everyone know that we are in Zone 3?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. And what does Zone 3 cover? What countries? Perfect. Wonderful. 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 You people are keeping up to date. That's very, very good. So, what we will do today is I'll take you quickly through all the activities, and basically it is the year 2023 in review. Okay? So, can I have the next slide, please? Slide 2. Where we will have, we'll focus on the medical services, the education, the enviro care, tree planting, humanitarian relief, interfaith activities, and of course a nationwide sadhana that I will talk about that lead us to Swami's 100th birthday on the 23rd of November 2025. Next slide, please. We look at medical services, and the next slide after that. The medical services in Zone 3, they are a very significant public outreach initiative for us. The medical camps, the palliative care seminar, the Vaisesi Healthcare Center in Fiji, the Care for the Caring, Values in Healthcare, and the Sai Health Week. Now, the Zone 3 Fiji Medical Camp, the next slide please. We have there recently, that is on the 23rd of July to the 28th of July, we had the Fiji Medical Camp where we had 88 health professionals and volunteers from New Zealand, Australia, Singapore and the USA, joining hands with volunteers from Fiji, forming a team of up to 120 members serving patients in Fiji at six different locations. I must mention here that the local Fijian doctors and healthcare professionals also join in this effort. This happens to be the 16th consecutive year this event has been taking place, dating back to 2006. And the only exception to this will be the years 2020 and 2021 due to COVID. At this particular camp, 2,530 patients were seen during the 6 consecutive days. I'll have the next slide, please. Here is a testament from the people. It is a testament to Swami's universal principles of love and seva that up to 50% of the healthcare professionals who joined the series of camps are from the wider community. Similar to past years, the opportunity to serve in an environment of love attracts people of all faiths. So when you say there is service to the people, everybody comes along. And one of the patients actually wrote to us saying, while waiting for her turn, remarked that Sai doctors are so good that I'm happy to wait the whole day to be seen by one of them. It's a special kind of treatment, they say, that they get. Okay? The SSSIO in Zone 3 has been able to sustain such camps over the last 2 decades due to members of the Sai Medical Unit, their unity and selflessness. Swami's love has enabled transformation that is not possible to articulate. This is said to be one of the greatest miracles of Sai. And of course, the Zone 3 Medical Director, of course, was from New Zealand, Dr. Dinesh Lal himself. Next slide, please. we've got the palliative care seminar in Fiji by the Fiji Medical Unit. That was in September 2023. And here, the medical unit of the SSSIO Fiji held a workshop for 20 invitees from the Ministry of Health, the medical unit, the medical Fiji unit, the Cancer Society on end-of-life care and grief counseling. The attendees included physicians providing oncology services at Lautoka Hospital and the palliative care teams from Lautoka hospitals which manage most of the cancer patients in Fiji. The human values were an integral part of this session. And this is from one of the local Fijian oncologists, consultant oncologists, and she says, "On behalf of the Lautoka Hospital Oncology Committee, I wish to thank you both for involving us in the palliative care workshop training. Personally, I've never attended a training like this, and as was said several times during the day, we are not taught to listen or talk to a dying person. The training was exhilarating, in depth, enjoyable, and very much useful to our daily work." Okay. These are the sort of feedback that comes back. So there's recognition for the work in the wider community. Next slide, please. The Vaisesi Healthcare Center in Fiji. The building was proposed and was blessed by Swami in 2010 and opened on the 2nd of April 2011. It is now owned by the Vaisesi South Health Center, which is a trust, and it's closely associated with the Zone 3 SSSIO medical unit and has a memorandum of understanding with the Fiji Ministry of Health. In 2021, the Vaisesi Healthcare Center became an emergency birthing unit for the Lautoka Hospital due to COVID closures in Lautoka Hospital. In other words, they closed the hospital and all the patients in the maternity wards were moved to this healthcare center. This is just a daycare center, you know. So all our members in Fiji, all the Sai devotees there, had to rush around, go and get beds and set it up like a hospital. And they went and brought containers there because the patients couldn't go home, the staff couldn't go home, so they had to be accommodated. And the Lautoka Sai Center actually provided food for all the people for all the days that were there. Can I have the next slide, please? Care for the caring. Now, one of the things we saw during the COVID period was many of the frontline workers were having issues of their own. You know, they're seeing all these patients suffering and many of them passing away and so on. So the aim here was to spread the 5 human values into the healthcare community. It was developed for healthcare workers by healthcare professionals and the Institute of Satisai Education Australia members, a collaboration between the ISSEA and the National Community Engagement Public Outreach of Australia. So it is a digital self-care tool, daily positive affirmations based on Swami's teachings, presented in a neutral way. Because this is going out to the wider community, the language has got to be different. It was developed in Australia initially, then implemented throughout Zone 3. Now available for international adoption, and many people from other countries have now come and said, can we take this on? The project is being promoted to the nursing school and medical school students in Fiji, as the SSSIO has already established a great working relationship with these groups. 200 affirmations based on Swami's teaching, presented in a neutral way context, has been created thus far. Next slide, please. Here are a couple of examples that you can see there that of the daily affirmations that were created. So people just look at this and they can go back and revisit them a number of times. And the people who participate in this found this to be very useful. When they go to work every day, they say, we look at this, we just keep repeating it, and we go there, we are in a frame of mind to handle whatever is presented during that day. Next slide, please. Values in healthcare. This is a project bringing people together and is coordinated by the medical unit, the Institute of Satisai Education, and public outreach teams in Zone 3. So an outline presentation entitled Respectful Care was trialed within the organization and is being offered more widely, it is the first of a series on reflective practice and incorporates human values into medical practice. The presenters are two medical practitioners highly respected by the Ministry of Health and the university in Fiji. So we look at what is needed, what does the community need, and then we say, okay, who are our best people to put this together? The Sai Medical Unit is one. The Institute of Satya Sai Education, they are people who are soaked in Sai's teachings. Okay. We move along. Some of the other projects apart from this will be the, we move on to education, the Satya Sai College in Australia, where we have now grown from 9 students about 27 years ago to a high school now, and our first batch of students have gone into university now at the Sai School. Okay. We move along. We have the ISSEA Certificate in Human Values, which is a program that is being developed, and people can now participate and be accredited with the certificate. It has been rolled out throughout Zone 3. Next slide, please. We look at EnviroCare and tree planting. Next slide. Q Haven. Does everyone know what Q Haven is in Auckland? Very good. Okay, so we won't go too much into that. So it's New Zealand. You all know all about that. Next slide, please. We were approached by people in the wildlife care community and asked to provide for, the bushfires that took place in Australia. The possums were displaced and they wanted special possum boxes and pouches. And people, all our team got together and built these and sent it out to them. So we not only look after human beings, we look after the animals as well. Next slide, please. Tree planting, this is something that's happening right through our center, all our organization throughout Zone 3. The next slide, please. And again, are we in humanitarian relief, RB? Yep, good. I can't see the slide. So this one is in Hawke's Bay. Again, that is something in New Zealand, and you all know about the issues they had there with the cyclone. And Dr. Amna Glad actually flew in a helicopter over there and provided care for the people there. Next slide, please. This is the Town Hall Charitable Trust is a home that was built in Fiji for people. And during COVID, they really went through a very difficult time. They were not even having food, and our community got together and adopted some families there and helped them with the food packs and so on and look after them. Until today, they still hop in there and look after those people. And you can see there a letter of acknowledgement from the organizers for the activities we have done. The next slide, please. And the one after that. This is the fun day which you all know about that happens in Auckland. And this is now very widely accepted, and it's a yearly regular occurrence with the SSSIO in New Zealand. And I'm sure the children there really love it. And the council that organizes this really appreciates the help from the SSSIO. And finally, the next slide, please. This is in Australia, they were thinking how to get the adults, the young adults and the children all together to do something for Swami's 100th birthday. So they decided on 1 million steps, okay, towards each person doing 1 million steps, and it's recorded. There's a database that you fill in, and you consciously do these steps. And every time you reach a certain number, it started off with Uluru, or some of you may know it as Ayers Rock in the middle of Australia, which is considered the spiritual center by the original people of Australia. And it goes all around the country. And at every place, once you have done a certain number of steps, they look at what is needed. So when they did the first stop, it was at Alice Springs. Okay, we achieved enough steps collectively to get to Alice Springs. And there is an organization called the Purple House, which provides dialysis care for Aboriginal people. It's run by the Aboriginal people. And when these patients go there for their dialysis, they feel very, very cold. And they asked us for beanies. So we set a target of 1,008 beanies, which we have delivered quite a number of them, and we're still continuing to deliver. Next stop is Darwin, where we are now doing work for the homeless, and it keeps going around throughout the country. And at every step of the way, we provide service activities for whatever is needed in that particular area. So the whole community is engaged, going around Australia to every place and providing the service that is absolutely needed in that locality. Two things happen. There's immediate humanitarian relief, and secondly, the local science centers there have now got a new project that they can embark on and look after the community beyond Swami's 100th birthday. I'll conclude with that. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Uncle Krishnan, for sharing what's happening in the zone. And it's always lovely to remember we're part of this bigger Sai family that's, not just from our center or our country or our region, but really it's a global family. So we appreciate the inspiration, and hopefully we can continue to build on the wonderful seva happening all around the zone and the world. Nithya and I wanted to share one more update that's kind of zonal and international while we're here. And it's about a retreat happening later this year. So as you know, we're both involved with the young adults work internationally, as are many of you, like Sister Nalini, for example. And we have the opportunity this year to bring together young adult coordinators and leaders from all around the world. In Greece, there's a beautiful ashram there called Sai Prema that Swami himself has blessed. And so we're planning to bring about 100 youth coordinators together for a 4-day kind of leadership and bonding retreat. The reason we wanted to share with you here is to all the young adults in the room. Uncle Gunnar said there's 40 of you, which is amazing. This is an amazing chance for you to come and meet other young adults from around the world, get really inspired, get connected, think global, make amazing friends. The kind of inspiration Nithya and I have had. We've been so lucky to go to Prashanti a number of occasions and meet brothers and sisters from all over the world. And I think it's because of that we're both here. It's one of the reasons still serving. It's because of that we've been able to connect to Swami and practice his teachings and keep involved. And I think it's been life-changing, and Nithya will share more in a moment. So it's a really beautiful opportunity. And we wanted to say, if there's any young adults here that have a bit of a fire and go, look, I want to serve in the organization, I want to be a part of this, come and chat to one of us. We would like to send a few young adults from the zone, New Zealand, Australia, and Fiji, to represent us. We may be able to financially support if that's an issue. So if you've got that fire and you're like, I'd love to go, please come and chat to us. It's an amazing opportunity, and we really want to do our best to support the next generation. We're kind of on our way out, but I went to one of these gatherings in 2011 when I had just become a center coordinator with Sister Bhakti and Shamala at the time. It was completely life-changing. It was a week in Prashanti, but the connections, the inspiration, I think, has fueled me and helped me in every way. So if anyone's got that fire or that desire or that yearning, parents, encourage your kids. Kids, tell your parents you want to go. We'd love to really support you, especially the younger youth coming through.
Let her come somewhere inside if she wants.
We can manage, yeah. But you want big servings of noodles?
Yeah, if possible.
One of the big because it's we are the cooks. We are the cooks.
is a very, very powerful mantra. If you take it seriously and practice the sadhana plan, you'll see a lot of transformation happening in your life. If you want to know more about Gayatri Mantra, contact your best friend Google. If you type Gayatri Mantra in there, you'll see tons of information on Gayatri Mantra. Some time ago, there was a booklet released by the Sri Lankan devotees, and it's got all the 101 questions or tons of questions about Gayatri Mantra, when you should chant it, how you should chant it, and there's a series of lovely programs by, it's called from Radio Sai. It's a Good Morning with Gayatri. It's very, very powerful, very enjoyable, and very short clips, and quite easy to understand. So when you chant the Gayatri Mantra, initially you may not understand its meaning, but as you chant, if you chant it with the understanding of the meaning, it'll have a very powerful effect on you. And it helps you in every way, financially, health-wise, if you're studying, your intellect, and all sorts of things. I personally have experienced a lot of miracles while chanting Gayatri Mantra with groups, and chanting it with groups is more effective, but I'm sure you all know more than I do about Gayatri Mantra, so without further delay, I'll pass it to the team to chant the Gayatri Mantra and try and focus on it. What it basically means is, I always say it like this, but I'm not, you can adapt something how you understand the meaning. And I always adapt the meaning in my head, saying, Dear Lord, you are omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. I pray to you, meditate on your form. Please give me buddhi and raise my intellect. Okay? And I add a few other things which I really want to achieve in life. Say, if you want to achieve higher studies or your work progression, you just add it on to that. All the best. Side up.
धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्।